What's going on, guys? AJ and Rudy here at the Crimson Ghost Mask Room, and Rudy just wants to show you some of his favorite masks, so we're going to make a video on that, starting with whatever he's got right here.
Okay. Alright, this is the 905 Alien by Don Post Studios. Came out in 1977. In the catalog, it's numbered as the 905 Alien from the 900 series line of masks. It was cast in black vinyl. The masks, you can find these, you know, from time to time. They're getting a little rarer these days, but the definite, extremely rare part of this set are these hands. The matching hands. I've maybe seen one other set out there, and these are absolutely pristine. These were foam filled, probably in 1984, and these have been in my friend's collection ever since. And I was very lucky to get my hands on them. No pun intended. But take a look at the paint coloring on them, because you'll never see another set look like this. In fact, most of the time, if you ever do find one of these hands, it could look like that. So you can see how perfect these actually are. They're really weird looking, you know, because two of your fingers go up in here, kind of like a Star Trek hand.
Yeah.
Signal.
Very weird.
So, this is something you will rarely ever see in a Don Post collection, is this full set. You'll see that head, but not with these.
Bravo, sir.
Well, thank you. These three are definitely three of my grail pieces, all-time favorite masks, some of them. And these came out in the 1977, you can see them in the 77 Don Post catalog. This is Eric, otherwise known as the Phantom of the Opera. This is a Lloyd, which is a weird creature based off of a squid. And this weirdo is Frankenstein 2001. This mask is, all three of these are very rare, especially these two. This went through an extensive restoration. I've, along with myself, and a lot of help from Rob Tharp for all the paint work he did. Dante Renta foamed it for me. I did the work on the dome. This is an original dome. There was actually two copies I had of this mask, and I used the two copies to make one good one and save the best one. So it came out incredible. It's actually painted to resemble the old 1977 catalog photo. There's a weird guy standing there, you know, with this mask on and like a cape, and that paint scheme looks just like the one in that old photo. But this thing went through a lot to get to this, the way it looks today. There's maybe a handful of these known, maybe 3 or 4 copies. The Lloyd now, I think I know of one other copy, and that is it. A friend of mine has one in his collection, and just earlier this year I was able to find this in an old basement in a private collection, and I was able to purchase it. So this is probably the second, maybe the third known copy that exists. And then Eric is more common, but still a pretty rare mask. This one came up in auction, and it was brand new, old store stock, super mint paint job still, flexible latex, and I had him foam filled to preserve him. But he's basically a brand new mask from 77. But you're looking at three rare, awesome 70s pieces there.
I told Rudy that he could pick one more. That way we could do a 5 from me and 5 from him, and he said, fuck me, he's doing 2 because he can. So explain to me why you picked 2 and what they have to do with each other.
Alright, well, a lot of you may know that this 1982 DK Skull is probably one of my favorite masks of all time. There's nothing like it out there. It's just a badass fucking mask. Beautiful red, paint and this black hood just makes it, the color combo is so cool. The sculpt is amazing.
It's really gnarly. Like, it's evil for stuff that was out like back then, I think.
82 was a great year for masks.
Yeah.
For Don Post masks. And other, you know, stuff. But this will always be one of my favorites. The reason this gold Medusa is next to it is because the two of these masks appeared in a movie together. A very famous movie. A lot of you may know this already from my previous videos, but these were both seen in Halloween 3, briefly. During that Hall of Fame where you could see all those mechanical toys in that room, and they show that line of masks that Chalice walks past, you'll see a red DK skull in that first line, and later when they show a different view of that room, up high on a shelf you'll see a Tor Johnson, a 77 Tor Johnson, big silver shamrock sign, like a circular sign with the shamrock, and you will see a weird gold mask sitting up on the shelf, and that is this. Don Post made these gold Medusas for a very short time. It was like a 1 year only mask. I think it was late 81 they were making these, and the problem with them is the gold paint they used on these latex Medusas pretty much melted all of them. So this is a recreation of that old gold Medusa. This is a genuine early 80s Medusa, because they came out with white and green versions where she had green hair, white skin, like around 80, 83 I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I had one completely done up gold, like that super rare one you'll see in the film. One important thing I should have mentioned earlier, when I said that gold paint melted those latex Medusas, it was the gold paint that is seen on C-3PO from the 1977 C-3PO masks. Now, why did these not melt? Do you know why these wouldn't melt and only these did?
I'm gonna guess that those are vinyl.
Correct. Yeah, the gold paint didn't affect the vinyl masks at all, but the latex, it made them all gooey and just made them melt away. So this should have been this color gold when it was out originally. This was all painted by Kathy Tharp for me, custom with a gold that's not going to melt the mask.
Right.
It's not the same gold, but it would have looked like this shade, you know, on C-3PO.
And just to be clear, none of those exist. Like, right. There's not an original gold Medusa.
Never
ever.
Seen one ever.
Gotcha.
They probably could have dulled these down a little bit, you know, because it was him, but I don't know if these were shinier than this would look, but in the movie it looks kind of shiny. So yeah, go check it out. So I just love these two masks because they were in the movie. You only see this for like a few seconds up on that shelf, but just watch for it in that scene. But there's nothing like these. Super unique and definitely my favorites.
Yeah, I definitely agree. There's something special about a DK skull.
And these early 80s hooded masks have the real thick hoods. These are the good hoods that all the collectors love. You know, later they went to the real flimsy, you know, cheap ones. But these are molded real nice. They're sewn and have these cool shapes to them. You know, this one's tagged still. Original tag is on it, care tag. So these are getting very hard to find. We got two of them here in the collection. I had a third one and I sold it and I regretted selling it, of course. So got my hands on a second copy.
Well, there you go. These are not Rudy's favorite masks. They're just some of Rudy's favorite masks. We cannot put these types of things in order. People ask both of us all the time to do, oh, what's your favorite mask, or what's your top 5 or whatever.
I can't even answer that, yeah.
And it's just impossible. So he just picked out a couple of his favorites that he wanted to talk about, and that's what this is. We hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see you later.
Thank you.